everybody, this is D-Bird here giving y'all a review on Adventure Time Orb, and it picks right back up after Finn, Jake, and BMO go to find what happened to the rest of the human race for that miniseries, and it was a good miniseries, but it picks right back up, and Finn and Jake had eaten too many bananas. BMO sees a strange cloud in the sky, but Finn and Jake don't care, and so BMO tries to tell him like a bedtime story or something, and it doesn't go well. They all go to sleep. You find out that the cloud is some type of dark orb, and then we adventure into Finn, Jake, and BMO's dreams. And first off, I want to say let's go with Jake's dreams first. Jake's dream, we get to see Jeremiah and Jermaine, and it was good to see all three of them together again. I wish there was like a backstory with all of them together, because that would have been cool. I mean, yeah, we did get the episode when they were all born, but that's not what I'm talking about. Like all of them together, grown up and interacting with each other. That would be cool. We found out Jeremiah took up landscaping after the house burned down, and he likes to physical objects to draw. He doesn't like to be so abstract and whatnot. So it's kind of opposite of Jake, where Jake is like, kind of laid back and he more abstract and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool, and I thought it also played with like his dad dealt with supernatural stuff and whatnot, and Jeremiah is kind of different, where he likes the physical objects in the real world, and he doesn't like to draw anything like beyond that and all crazy. Kind of see how it impacts him. Then going into Finn's dreams, we see him flying in the clouds or whatnot, and he feeling good and whatnot. We see Party Wolf, that was cool, and some dancing bananas, referring back to they ate a bunch of bananas, so it's in his dreams. Then he comes down to the ground, and we see him with Princess Bubblegum, and there's like some weird goo and stuff on the ground. I found that interesting. And then it gets kind of nightmarish, where she like lost some teeth and whatnot. And I was like, wow, this. And then like he screams. We go to BMO's stuff, BMO's dream. And I found it interesting that when BMO goes into dream mode, it actually displays on the screen like dream mode. I was like, that's cool. So when he's in his dream, BMO dreams of CMOs, and he was like a director for a play. He's going to watch the play, and I found it funny that BMO sees Finn and Jake when BMO's not around. All they do is like punch and stuff like that, and they don't really do anything much else besides that. I was like, that's cool. That's how BMO sees them without BMO being there to adventure with them. And then we go to Jake's dream, where Joshua, their dad, is having Jermaine and Jake dig a spot, and he draws a circle with the cross in the middle, and basically the symbol for the four elements. So they dig. You see like a shadow or something around them, symbolizing that the orb is in their like heads now. And then the floor is completely fine, and it looked like they never dug anymore. And Joshua is in the ground now, saying, "You put me in the ground, why, boys?" So I feel like that's symbolizing that he is like officially dead, because I believe he's dead in the real world, and not in this dream world. He was alive, but he's dead in the real world, so that symbolizes it. And then they show Jake and Jermaine's mom, and she's mixing a bowl of worms, and I think that's also symbolizes she might be dead also, because worms are associated with ground, and what the worms eat and stuff, when you become part of the ground, you pretty much. So I feel like she's dead. And then Jake becomes a baby, and it refers back to the other steak miniseries with the Marceline and the vampires, and he gets bit and turns old and whatnot. And then going back to Finn's dreams, I also found it interesting that when PB told him that it's not possible to fly, he couldn't fly anymore, because this PB is not real. So subconsciously, when she said something, he knows she's right, and so he subconsciously couldn't fly anymore. And then he gets sucked into the ground after he tries to fix PB's teeth, and then he pops back up, and everything is pink. The whole ground is pink. So I feel like this is alluding to something. And then he hears Jake call for help, so Finn thinks flying bird thoughts or whatever. So he flies into the sky, goes to find Jake in his room, in the house, and he's all old and messed up because the vampire like sucked his blood or something. And then they get put into BMOs play somehow, and they're like wearing suits, costume suits, and they take them off. And then we see when the CMOs were like dressing up Finn and Jake for their part or whatever, we see I think it was like a BMO or a CMO that looked like the Lich. And so I found that interesting. And I feel like this is all alluding to something that's happening in Ooh right now. I also saw that during each of their dreams, the eye was showing up more and more, showing like little things and showing that the this orb or something was influencing them a lot more, and they were being controlled and their nightmares being twisted by this creature or something. And then also I wanted to mention during BMO's dream, Amo showed up, and then he was like, "Boo, this play's bad." So he goes to see the director, even though he is a director, and he sees football, but football says, "I'm not football, I'm Amo." So I'm wondering if BMO sees a little bit of Amo in him, and I feel like that would be kind of cool to see that subconsciously BMO kind of sees some of Amo in him. So that would be real interesting, and I like how they explored that. And then also when Jake was having a dream with Jermaine, when Jake got his blood sucked out, Jermaine ran away. I was like, that's the move probably anybody would have. Like, I'm out of there, because Jake just got his blood sucked by a vampire, and Jermaine was like, deuces. He's already dealt with like enough weird stuff. I'm wondering, wouldn't he have like had some type of countermeasure to a vampire, since he kind of knows about this about his dad and take care of the house for so long. But I don't know, he was out of there, so he ran into a Peyton. And then also the alien was in the background in the picture, the one that bit Jeremiah and made Jake kind of born from that whole thing. I found that was interesting too, and it's like kind of foreshadowing some more, or like referring back to the past, that the alien took place in the birth of Jake and was like watching him or something. I wonder, does that mean subconsciously Jake knows about the alien, but he doesn't know consciously about it? Because how would the alien be there without Jake knowing something about it? So after their dreams merged together, they fell into a hole, never-ending hole, and then the cloud with the eye showed up, and Finn put together the puzzle that the cloud was actually a princess, and he put a dress and wings on it, and then it grew arms and legs. So the dark orb is like a nightmare princess, basically. That's what they said, and wanted some bananas. And but before the nightmare princess got the bananas, BMO bargained with it, saying, "We'll give you bananas, but you got to give us something cool in return." It's like BMO knows how to do it, how to get something cool from somebody, and how to take advantage of the situation. Finn would have just gave them the bananas, like, okay, cool, goodbye. Then when they came back out of the dream, nightmare princess orb thing took bananas, gave them a crystal bottle something, and then flew off into the sky and became a light or a moon or something. I don't know what it became. It was just like a light in the sky. I don't know if it's the moon or something else. So I found that interesting. And then BMO sees the land of Ooh, and it's completely wrecked and messed up. I was like, wow, this is going to be something amazing. So I can't wait for the miniseries to show what's happened to Ooh and why it's all split up into slime, fire, candy, and ice. So that's the end of this review, guys. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one. D-Bird out.